Welcome back, fellow hookers, to the Cattin' and Chattin' season end review of our gear. Today we're going to be going over Jay's Cabela's King Cat rod and his Okuma reel, as well as we're going to be touching on some of our grippers that we have been using over the past couple of years. Without further ado, take it away, Jay.
We just got these this year. Yeah. Anyway, so I think this was the first rod that I ever got. This was a gift from JD for my birthday, actually.
Oh, that was what, 5 years ago?
4 or 5 years, something like that. This is the first rod I ever got that actually is sold and marketed as a Catfish rod. Before that, I've always just used your basic ugly sticks or, the ones I get at Walmart that I used to back in the day. I think those were the Berkeley big game rods, which good budget rods. I can't argue with them. But like I said, first ever rod that was actually geared towards catfish, hence the name King Cat.
And it was marketed specifically for catfishing. I use the air quotes very heavily on catfishing.
This is a 9-foot casting rod. 14 to 30 pound line.
Dyslexia is a motherfucker.
1 to 4 ounces weight you can cast with this rod.
Does not have an action on it, but if I had to guess, I would say this is a heavy action rod. It takes a lot to bend this one.
It's about a cunt hair short of a broomstick.
Yeah, it's stiff. It's stiff.
It's a stiffy.
Great rod. The only gripe I would say that I have about it is the short handle on it. It is, if you're trying to get distance out of this, you're really going to have to put some upper body into it, because the handle on this is, I would say, roughly about a foot. It's pretty short. Other than that, great rod, good reel seat, good eyes on it, no grooves or nothing. I don't think I've ever ran braid on this rod. This is on mono. The reel, again, another Amazon purchase. It's Okuma CLX300LA. I don't really quite say what I could give this as equivalent to for an Okuma or an Ambassador or Abu reel. It's pretty big and beefy, but it's not heavy. It's pretty light. It's got the newer, I believe it's a graphite composite body on it. It's got a steel reel foot on it, stainless steel, and it's riveted to the frame. It's sturdy. I don't have any complaints about it. It's done me good for a few years now. Good casting. The one cool thing about this is when you're getting ready to cast, you do not have to worry about, because the big power handle on it's spinning around and re-engaging the reel. The engage for the spool, there's no button, no thumb bar. It's a switch. And I've never had this backfire on me or backlash. Well, I've had a backlash a few times. It's bird nested a few, but as with any bait caster, you'll have that. Cast pretty good. I'm going to try over the winter time this year, I'm going to try to get a longer rod with a longer handle, and try to see how this rod does on a good long rod. I'm looking for about a 10-foot casting rod. Probably end up getting with a Penn Prevail rod or something. This rod I was trying to think of earlier is Prevail. It's got a good loud clicker on it. You can hear that. Deaf man from a mile away is going to hear that if a fish runs with it.
I'll hear it.
Yeah.
Let's put it at that. I hear it.
It's pretty stout. I mean, for being a graphite composite body, I've dropped it a few times, and there's no rash on it whatsoever. No scratches. It's pretty durable. It's got a little dirt on it here and there. But other than that, I mean, it's great. I love it. And I think that reel was in the $40 to $50 range. I don't remember. They have two versions of this one. They have the Okuma Classic CLX, and then they have an Okuma Classic. I do not remember the letters that go with it. But the only difference between that one and this one is the other one has steel rings around the outside of each end plate. Looks a little nicer. It's a little more flashy, but I go for functionality over pretty. So other than that, yeah, it's been a good rod. I've caught some good fish on it. Yeah, not much else really to say about it. No complaints.
What about
other than the handle?
The handle material?
It's that foam EVA, whatever y'all call that stuff. It's not bad. Resist dirt, slime. The only thing I can say, when it gets wet, it does get a little slippery sometimes, but use your shirt or a rag or whatever, just wipe the shit off of it and it's all good.
And what line do you have on this rod?
This, I believe, is the not Berkeley Big Game line. Stren makes it, and I can't remember the name of it right now. Stren High Test, I believe. It's meant for the bigger game fish like catfish, muskie, stuff like that. And I think that's actually what this reel was designed for, was for muskie fishing. But it casts great catfishing. If anything, this will end up next year when we get a boat. This will end up being a good boat rod because it's shorter. Shorter handles. You only need a long handle on a boat for casting because you're just kind of plopping it out there. So
yeah, stay tuned for the boat videos.
Yeah,
that's gonna be fun.
We'll be hitting some boat expos this year, and hopefully, as long as this virus shit don't get stupid again, they'll still have the Catfish conference this late or early winter of 2021. So we'll get to see some boats there too if we haven't already bought one.
Yeah, it's about February-ish is when they run the Catfish conference on as usual. If, as you said, the coof isn't going on at that time.
This stupid virus shit. But it's a 2-piece rod. It's not bad. Actually, it was a good budget rod. I think it was $40 to $50, something like that. 39, somewhere in there. It's a good starter rod for anybody that's just trying to get into it. They sell them at Cabela's. I think 9 foot is the longest it comes in. I think the shortest they have is like a 6.5 to 7 foot. It's white, so it's easy to see at night. Very easy. But regardless, we always go with our glow tip, or should I say glow stick on the tip with the usual zip tie, which I do not have a glow stick on there because last time I used this, I was going with a
Here, just
cigar float.
Put that in there, cut it, and do it again.
And yeah, we usually do our glow sticks and the zip ties as usual. Slide your glow stick in there and up, and it's tight and doesn't go anywhere. I can cast this as hard as I want. That glow stick ain't going nowhere. Helps you see at night. Again, without the light, it's pretty bright.
And this glow stick has been
it's been going for 2 hours now.
Yeah, about 2 hours or so.
So it's pretty good. Yeah, not much else I can really say about it. Like I said, it's got good tips on it. It's got good action. A little bit of leftover moss and shit from the lake doing our part.
Underwater, aquatic grass maintenance.
Aquatic
landscaping. Aquatic landscaping. Yeah, aquatic landscaping is definitely what I would call what we do on some of the lakes around here.
So the second thing we're going to get to in this video is fish grips. And there's 2 main styles out there. There's your, I don't know what style you would call these, but There's these, and then you got your basic plastic ones. It's kind of like a vice grip.
Basically, to cut that part short, these suck ass. Those, definitely go with these. Don't waste your money or your time trying to figure the fuck out of these things, because 9 times out of 10, if a catfish weighs over 5 pounds, this thing isn't going to hold it.
We've had 2 fish slip out of the grips on those. I don't know how, but I just don't think it holds like they're designed to. These, the only gripe I've had about these is actually getting them out of the fish's mouth. Especially when a catfish clamps down, even when you got it open, he'll bite down on this and the hook stays in his mouth. So that's only been a problem, but you just thumb the bottom lip and just kind of finagle it out of there and you're all good. But these have definitely been pretty good. We put these to use this year and I love them. And it doesn't come with the pool noodle float. I made that myself. That was just $1 pool noodle from the Dollar Tree.
Always, always, always put on a float. I don't care if you're bank fishing, fishing from a boat especially, but always have this noodle or some other kind of float, because if you drop it and it's got this, you're golden. You drop it, like these ones.
Those float, if I'm not mistaken.
They're supposed to float, but if they're hooked to a fish, they're gone. You ain't gonna see them. If it's not hooked to a fish, if you're lucky, you might find them.
Maybe. This does not float, so that's why I put the pool noodler. And I think the only way, I can't remember, yeah, how I attach this inside of the pool noodle is I took a piece of cord or whatever, ran through here, hooked on the end of the loop of this, the lanyard that it comes with, and pulled it through. And then I used a small piece of paracord and I took I believe it's a 1-inch PVC pipe cap. I drilled a hole in the end of it and tied the paracord to the lanyard, put the other piece of paracord through the hole in the cap, tied a big knot on the end of it, and just pulled it through. And it's kind of stuck in the middle there, but it's not going anywhere. You drop this in the water, it's not going to fall out. So, you know, you're on a boat or whatever, you drop in the water, it's just going to be your blue bobber in the water, and you can use your net or go wading, whatever way you choose to retrieve it, you're going to get it back. But yeah, I got this idea from a lot of guys I watch on other YouTube channels that do a lot of kayak fishing. They always put floats on their stuff, and it seems to be a good thing, especially when they flip them, they get their gear back. So yeah, these are this isn't even an expensive pair. This is a budget pair from Bass Pro Shops. We actually bought these at Cabela's, which Cabela and Bass Pro, most of you guys know, partnered up. But it's a Bass Pro brand. I think I paid $8 for this, which is not bad at all. And I've definitely gotten my use out of them, and they've come in handy big time this year. And these, cool thing is you ain't got to worry about trying to get this in the mouth and close it and grip it. This, you pull back, get it in the mouth, let go, and it cinches down and you're good to go. You just hold the fish and you're golden. So, yeah.
You definitely won't ever hear me say anything bad about this style or this particular lip grabber, but I would really love to go back in time and kick my own ass for spending money on buying this. But you know,
paid, what, 15, 16 bucks for those?
Yeah, for these, and I got a 50-pound max electric scale.
Digital, yeah.
Yeah, the digital scale that goes with this. And I would love to take both those back and buy one of these or like 6 of those just so I had extra. But these ones, don't waste your time on. They're crap. They don't even deserve to be on the same table.
This is a small pair. This is actually one of the smallest ones I've ever seen. The reason I bought the small one is because it's compact, it's light. I can throw it in my hoodie pocket or whatever if I need to. Most times when I'm carrying my tackle backpack, which we'll cover in another video, I open this up and clamp it on one of the loops on backpack, and it's good. It's hanging there. It's ready to roll whenever I need it. But yeah, they make these in a much bigger size. I've seen them, but for the most part, I mean, if you're catching catfish and you can't get the bottom lip inside these, I mean, that's a pretty good hole. I've got big thick hands and I can get my thumb almost all the way in there. If you can't get a bottom lip in there, then you don't need to be handling it by hand. So other than that, I think that's about it on this video.
Yeah. Make sure you subscribe, motherfucker.
Subscribe, motherfucker.
Remember to hook them deep and keep them wet.